Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk about insertion sort. Now, let's go over some basics of insertion sort. First, insertion sort compares the element starts with A of 1, which is the second element in a list, with the element or elements on its left side. Then it places this particular element in its right positions. And similar to selection sort, it is a lot easier to comprehend compared to other sorting methods, but it's only good for small arrays due to its much slower runtime when sorting bigger arrays. Now let's walk through the code. First, we create an array A. Then there's this outer for loop, which initialize I to be 1, and the range of I would be from 1 to length of array A minus 1 inclusively. And also notice that key item is set to A of I. And then a variable j is initialized to I minus 1. And then a while for loop is created inside this particular for loop, which is used to place the larger element into its correct position. And then lastly, after the while loop terminates, the smaller element is placed into its correct position. Now let's walk through the code step by step. So first, an array A is declared, and it's initialized to have elements 35, 22, 11, 23, and 13. A for loop is created, and the variable I is initialized to 1. And then a variable key item is initialized to 8 of 1, which is going to be equal to 22 in this case. And a variable j is initialized to I minus 1, which is 0. Then a inner while loop is created inside of this for loop, and it's checking the condition that whether j is greater than or equal to 0. So j is equal to 0 in this case, so 0 is greater than or equal to 0, so it's true. And then 8 of j, which is going to be 8 of 0. And when we circle back to the array, it's 35. So it's 35 greater than key item, which is 22, and it is true. So 8 of j plus 1, which is 8 of 1, is going to be set to 35. And j is going to be decreased by 1. So now when we go back to the while loop will terminate because j is equal to -1. So since j is less than 0, the program will jump to the very last line, which sets 8 of j plus 1, which is 8 of 0, to key item, which is 22. Now the program loops back to the for loop again, and I is initialized to 2. And then key item is going to set to 11. Then j is going to be set to I minus 1, which is 1 in this case. And now the while loop is going to execute since j, which is 1, is greater than 0, and 8 of j, which is 8 of 1, is equal to 35, and it is greater than 11. So 8 of j plus 1 is going to be set to 8 of j. So notice that the third element, 11, is set to 35. And j is decreased by 1. And then it goes back to the while loop, and since these two conditions still holds true, so when we look at closely, that j is equal to 0 is still greater or equal to 0, and 8 of 0 is equal to 22, which is greater than key item 11. So 8 of 1 is going to be set to 22. and j is decreased by 1. So since j is equal to -1, the while loop will terminate, and the program jumps to the very last line and set 8 of j plus 1, which is 8 of 0 to 11. Now I want to show you guys this table that kind of shows how insertion sort works. So first, element 22 is going to compare with its left element, which is 35, and 22 is less than 35, so 22 is placed to the leftmost position. And then 11 is going to be compared with 22 and 35, and because 11 is less than both of these numbers, so it's going to place as the first element. Then 23 is going to compare with 35 and 22, and it is smaller than 35, so it's going to place one position to the left. But when it compares with 22, since it's larger, so the while loop will terminate the execution. 23 will just be between 22 and 35, and it will not be compared with 11. And then 13 is going to compare with 35, 23, and 22, and it is indeed smaller, so then it's going to place to the left of 22. However, when it compared with 11, the while loop will terminate, since 11 is smaller than 13. So 13 is going to place between 11 and 22. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you find this video helpful for understanding insertion sort. Please feel free to leave any comments down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye!